Hi folks, and welcome back to Biblical Britain. It's the 15th of July, 1:08 in the morning. So I'm not sure how I greet you in that way. Good morning, good evening, good whichever, but I'm sure you're all tucked up in bed while I'm doing this. But shining the light in the darkness, I've got something of the most, I say it every time, but this is absolutely stunning, because this ties up so much of what I've been doing, as you will see as I decode it. Right, in the Old Testament, Job 9:9, it states, let me just pull it up, bear with me, get my phone alive. It says, which maketh Arcturus Orion, and Pleiades, and the chambers of the south. As you know, I've already sort of decoded the chambers of the south, and obviously these are all place names. It's done in a mine. Ironically, I'm in a place that is actually called, well, if I unanagram the name of the actual company that I'm doing this for, it says O Vatican. I'm in Eastleigh's Caution, which says yes Atlas Marcos H, and it's also built on Eastleigh's mine, which is yes Atlas mine. So the mine as well it's like the chambers of the south, are basically places in the southwest, as I've decoded, and they've all got these sort of, well, there's messages to them, and there's all chambers off, and you could literally draw a mine on a map. Shaftesbury is at the bottom, which says Safety B Roos. Or Roos H, I think it is, but it also ties in with other codes, and those are basically the chambers of the south. Now, I've already decoded that Orion has a riddle in it, which gives you clues, and basically, again, it all leads to it just ties up everything I've been doing basically, but ties in beautifully with this one, because this one, well, you'll see when I show you, you'll see what I mean. Again, the Pleiades is Please ID, and how this connects is, as you can see, right, this Arcturus is in the Boots constellation. Where is he? In fact, I've missed Arcturus off there, unbelievably. Bear with me. It should be after Izar. It makes no difference which order these are in. Oh no, I haven't. There it is, Arcturus. So your Arcturus, and right, the original way I got that's right. How I found Pleiades is by making an arc to the Roos. Following on. Right, without going into too much detail, I've got a giant bow that's made up of the ankh, basically. The first piece, and why I put the Egyptian pieces on this thing, I do not know. Or I do, because I was guided to do it, but how you explain that, I don't know. But I made this giant, effectively a giant bow from the KEY, the original key in the map type thing. And when you follow it along, it hits Lewisham. Basically, this bow line follows through, hits Lewisham. It gives you a message in full. Is key yes, seek. Key yes, seek. He's Gumry, which is Mr. Guy, as well. Wind's Nod, which is Swindon. Then it goes through, it hits I am Welsh, or Lewisham, I am Welsh. And then there's a stone circle in Lewisham, which there's two lines that basically pincer it, and what it's telling you to pick out the stone. So you pick out the stones, there's a stone circle, and then the I am Welsh is relating to a stone circle, because then you follow it back up, and this is where you start to put this Arcturus together, because there's a stone circle on a place called Grey Hill. So, and I think it's spelled G-R, I'm not sure it's A-Y or E-Y, but whichever way, it's G Hill basically. And what you do is, what I did was pinpoint the stone circles on the hill, then the key fort, Lammelin, which is in the shape of a key, literally. Then you pinpoint the temple lock, the lock on the temple, the padlock on the temple, the picture, which this identifies as well. And what I did was draw these lines up and I realised this is, I know how this works at this point, and this is a bow. And and your Arcturus comes in because all you do is you Arcturus. So you go from there, and instead of showing it as two straight lines, you turn it into a bow. That effectively, that's what it is. All you need is an arrow. Well, there's a place here called Carrow Hill, and when you break your word down, it's C. It's phonetic C, as in see it, the arrow, and the hill. Well, there's the arrow goes on the hill, which is where the key of the arc of the bow as well. And what you do is it's the key to it is you follow it along, and it's a place called Mablethorpe. Mablethorpe actually gives you the answer to the Please ID statement in the the Pleiades, which is something about I'll read them all late in a bit. In fact, let's read it now, and we'll put them all together as well. Why not? 2 seconds, folks. Okay, so the Pleiades message is Ple I1, all C U1 on Atlas. Well, the one on Atlas is Gumry's Mr. Guy, and Guyana as well. It's there. My name is, well, it just happens to be all over it. I'm not going to make apologies for this anymore, because I can only put code out that it's there. And the fact my name's in there, it makes sense that if the creator is trying to prove, well, not trying to prove, it doesn't have to prove anything, but if he's going to, show people that he's real, and this certainly does that, because nobody else could have made all this. So what he's done is why not, you would make sense to put the decoder's name all over it. And therefore, not only is it drawing pictures, it's got the decoder's name in it, and with all these different riddles and puzzles, and and the answers to them. It's work of, well, genius work. It's work of a mind that we can't even, well, I know it exists, but how you comprehend it, I say it's him, but how you comprehend him being the creator of all things and able to do this, he can only be the one who created everything, because it's impossible. Right, this line hits Mablethorpe. Okay, so the actual riddle the actual thing, Pleiades is an anagram of Please ID. When you break the message down of all the stars in the Pleiades, it says Ple I1, all C E1 on Atlas. I am Arc-elect. He set me a rope, get rope at, and that's the end of the star message. Well, the place this bow hits directly when following these coordinates is a place called Mablethorpe, and that says rope be at Mel H. Now, if you've been following this, you'll know that the Mel H is to do with Lammelin. It's the code in Melchizedek and the Mini Tekla Farsin code. This is the place, the Mel H, and it's where you get a great big spear pinning this bow, which gives you the secret H-man code as well. Okay, if that doesn't make any sense, you'll have to go back and watch the videos again and see how this all miraculously ties up. Okay, and then you've also got Orion's riddle, I take angel, oars in a belt, and that becomes so apparent on this, because, well, how this is possible. If people say, you can make words, sentences out of anything, there's 9 stars in Pleiades, I think it is. There's 8 stars in Orion, and there's 11 stars in this one. And then if you can make a complete message out of all 3 of these, or separate messages, but they all tie together as well, then I would like to see it. Please feel free to do so, because it's impossible, and it has to all relate to the same thing and be provable by pictures on a map, as I'm about to prove to you, because what this says is absolutely mind-blowing. Okay, right, with that in mind, I'm going to skip now. I'm going to just pause you a second while I write up the message itself. But if you want to take this, obviously feel free to pause this video. Obviously, don't include Boots the Herdsman, although I'll show you what that is now as well, because that's something in that as well. But this is these are the stars, all the stars that make up the Boots constellation, the herdsman. If you want to write those down, then obviously when I show you the message, and if you want to compare the two and cross them off, feel free to do so, okay? But for the second, I'll just pause you. Okay, folks, and here we have the most incredible message to date. It really is, because it confirms so much. as I said, I think I said after Orion and obviously get the Pleiades ID message or please ID message, and I've worked those out. Obviously, I tried to do this one as well, and I failed to do it because two of the components at least were missing. Rerun Giza, rerun Keep Giza Ank and the map pick RIPU. Obviously, and now since I did Orion, I've obviously found, well, as I'll show you now, and this is what makes this so incredible, that I'll explain all this as I go, but it's just impossible that this is coincidence, and it shows that this plan is timed as well, and you are meant to uncode it in a certain order, because without knowing the answers, you can't encode the message. Everything seems to work in reverse with this. I put out code, and the following week or weeks later, then obviously you get the confirmation. Now, this is what, you know, sometimes I just put code out there, and I don't know, sometimes I think that it's not that strong, but I almost got confidence now that something, give it a couple of weeks, or even like the tribes, it took, well, that one took about a year, I think, or a bit more than a year, and then all of a sudden the whole complete message just unfolds in front of me, and confirms that those tribes, the 10 tribes that I got, were in fact correct. But again, I would not have been able to encode that message at the time of getting, getting the tribes, because I didn't know anything else other than the tribes. I didn't even know where Jerusalem was at that point. But either way, let's get on to it. So here we go. So Boots, obviously Boots, Bootes, Boots, Bootes constellation. It's called the herdsman. Well, if you've got a safe zone, which this will confirm, the safe zone in the most amazing way possible, then obviously, I'm so to be the herdsman. So I'm guessing that I'm the one that was to herd the people into the safe zone. It can only be what it means. Right, okay. So as I said, Arcturus is on the, it doesn't, right, it's 2 constellations, and then it gives you Arcturus. The reason for Arcturus is so that I would see the Arcturus, create the bow, find the Mablethorpe, get the message, pull down, again, so this is all done in a precise order, and it cannot be unscrabbled any other way, showing the genius behind it, which is not of this earth. His name's Yahweh, and he really, and I'm channeling this stuff down. How I even found any of this, and in the time I found it, is ridiculous. It's been 3 weeks, and I don't even know, these 2 alone, and they're spectacular. Bear in mind that even these messages there's hundreds of codes, probably, if not, hundreds, maybe thousands, I don't know, codes that led to all these final messages. Who knows where this stops? I don't know. Every week I think it's going to stop, and then the next week I've got another one, and that's how incredible it is. But I only get it, but it's not my, this is not my plan, and he says he'd do it at his pleasure, his time, and that's what he's doing. Anyway, right, Atlas Silu Arcturus. So I take the Arc, and this is confirming Atlas, obviously Atlas. I'm in a place called Yes Atlas, Marcos H. I'm the Silu in the Archangel's code as well, confirming that, which then you get the Archangel. Well, if you go back on it, you can work all this out. Arc to G-Roost also says connect G-Roost as well. That's Arc is to connect as well as making a connection. Arc G-Roost. So, okay. I made the Arc to G-Roost, found the Pleiades, and the Pleiades gives you Lambel in the fort with the key on it. Right, okay. The lock, the key, and stone circle. Right, okay. Now this one blew my socks off, because only last week or the week before. Right, to go back to Orion's riddle. I take Angel, all's in a belt. I take Jerusalem Mel, I'd be all tricked in a map, Messiah. Okay, right. The Angel all in a belt. Well, I knew that the Giza pyramids had a code in it, because it was AG as your map ID, and I did a complete video showing how that fits onto the pyramid over the map in Wales on the big one. If you go back again to these videos, you'll see how all this fits together. But AG is your map ID, and a G is, because this is your Mason's G as well, in your square and compass. Okay. Right. Keep Giza Ank. Well, because it said all's in a belt, Well, the belt is obviously Orion's belt, and the 3 pyramids of Giza all connect, or all line up apparently with Orion's belt. Or they say they do. Whether they do, I don't honestly know. But either way, Yah's using it, so that's how it works. Okay, incredibly, you've got 3 pyramids. For anyone who hasn't seen this video, go back and, like I say, and this is one at the time. I was writing this. I hate writing it because it's got my name in it, and it really and I don't want anyone to think this is an ego trip. But realistically, again, if you're going to create a code, put the decoder in it, make it all from the most spectacular of places, written in ancient times, which it literally is, along with all these pictures of forts, with keys on them, and the temple with a lock on them, and then create, put pictures in a map. It just proves beyond coincidence. It's impossible. Well, as you see, so we got Cheops, Caffrey, and Menekue, I think it is. If I spelled this wrong, it's only because I haven't actually written 3 down, because I'm not best sometimes at doing this stuff, but I'm pretty sure that's how you spell them. Right, when you unscramble the name of these 3 pyramids, you get this sentence. And like I say, I didn't want to put this out, but, well, as you can see, I'm so glad I did, because it says, just bear with me 2 seconds, people. And I haven't written it down, but it's Marco keep. Oh, sugar, hold on. I think it's Marco keeps Ankh. You free H. Well, the H is the secret H, man, written in Manchester. You get all and this again confirms the spear and everything, because it obviously is saying free H. And you free the H, be the male H is Bethlehem as well. All this is how it all ties together, and this is how it's just showing you timeless that he wrote these, as he said, in ancient times, so that when this comes to light sort of thing, nobody can say anyone else did it but him. And who could have done it? Because man did not put all these pictures on maps in places. No, it's just impossible. And he's done this because these pyramids were named, well, long before Marco was born, so clearly shows that he knows everything that's going on, and this is a plan, and it is rolling out exactly as he's said. And he's proving, not that he needs to prove himself, but he chooses to prove himself to us and make sure, and he does say that people will know. And what better way to do it than to do this? Cheops, Caffrey, Menekue. Marco keeps Ankh, you free H. Rerun, keep Giza, Ankh. These are the 3 pyramids in Giza. This is the Great Pyramid of Giza. I always thought it was called the Pyramid of Giza, but it actually has a name as well, Cheops. It's put down as a secondary name, but it's not, because the other one is quite, there's something quite rude in that, so clearly been added later. But either way, these are the real names. Marco keeps Ankh, you free H. What a statement. Rerun, keep Giza, Ankh. And like I say, would not have been able to uncode this until I obviously have found that. And this is what I mean, all set in place in time. Right, and if that isn't enough, let's look at the next one. This is incredible. Map pick, RIP at you. Go back, I think it's the last video I did, if I'm not mistaken. And I did, before I even knew about any of this, all this keep Giza Ankh, I mapped a pick. I also mapped a coffin. That there leads to a place, a case roll. See, it says something about a secret or something, I forget now, but you can check this out. But what you've got, that's actually longer. And bear in mind that all these points are all decodes as well. I forget exactly where they are, but they're points. These points are there. I think this looks something like that. This be my Jerusalem. I know that says, this one says unmap it, and what's amazing, and this is what ties in with this rerun the soil map as well, which I will show you is the Coffin, and bear in mind this point is the square and compass, and the square and compass code is the soil map as well, which I'll demonstrate when I rerun it, as I'm doing now, because this is preempting even what I'm doing as well, because to explain this you have to rerun, and so this is, well, impossible to be coincidence. There's no way on this earth that this is coincidence. Right, okay, map pick. So there's the map pick, RIP. Rest, so you've got your rest in peace, there's your pick. What does it mean by it you? Not quite sinister as it sounds, because what did I say, who did I say is in the what's buried in the coffin? Is the lost tribe of Joseph, which is decoded as yourself, from the octagram, which gives you, which breaks into Taurus L and everything else. This is it Welsh Bull, Booth Wells, Man Moel, well, one of the Man Moel, this is Leinster, insert Moel. Well, insert Moel is the man ox, eagle lion. The ox is interchangeable with the bull is Joseph. And it is basically the four-faced angel, which is also there, Man Moel. That says insert Moel, that says Man Moel. So the one face of the four-faced angel, the ox that switches with a bull, is basically the tribe of the Marco Manoi. Well, you is in the coffin. It's not literally me, but you, Marco Manoi, is confirming that Marco Manoi is actually the lost tribe of Joseph. Go back on the, look at each one of these videos, and and you could not make this up. And it clearly states map pick RIP you. You couldn't make a sentence more specific to something that I've already decoded and preempted me with it, along with the rerun Atlas Soilu Arcturus, rerun Kiki Sarank, map pick RIP you. Right, ID Rums Dart. Go back a few videos and you'll see the dart. And what a fantastic drawing that is. It's just like a dot to dot. And you use the places, that comes up with a message as well. I'm going to read through some of these messages in a bit just to tie it up and put some perspective on this. But remember, to get to these, I mean, this is only sort of like the, what's this, like an overall statement of what I've done. But in those, each of this dart is a load of places with a code. The map pick, all coded places. The geezer, how do you even explain that? Atlas Soilu Arcturus tells you as well. This is an instruction sheet. This is practically an instruction sheet, but I've already completed what it said before I could find it and describe what it meant. But there you go. Okay, now the ID Rums Dart. Yeah, so if you go back, you'll find across the West Country through, I think it's effectively across the West Country, as I remember, goes through Templecombe, and it hit Rum's Temple. Well, Rum is just short for Jerusalem. That's what it is, or Jerusalem, which is the decoded Jerusalem. But to get to Jerusalem, you need to go through all the code and then illuminate. And then what it's telling you is to illuminate. There's more code in this again, but I'm not going through it now. Okay, Jerus illuminate. You add those letters, and that says I 10. So it's telling you to illuminate Jerus and I 10. 10 tribes of Jerus. Basically, it's the 10 lost tribes of his rule. And his rule is even Siluri H as well. Atlas Soilu. Soilu is just a singular Siluri, which he uses to refer to me. But either way, there you go. So Rum's Dart, and he just uses G-Rum. It's G-Rum. And the only thing that's missing is the Soilu. I think it is Jerusalem. Yeah. G-Rum Soilu. G-Rum Soilu is the temple, and the temple's dart. And like I said, I was brought into this world to my spark, and literally that's where the matrix. Well, it's the lock on the door to the matrix. The key, the lock and the key to the city of David is the two forts. Or one fort and the lock on the temple. It's all symbolic, put there by the Creator. No, and this is what I mean. He's proving beyond any doubt that he exists, and he really did do this. And the fact that, well, you know, I've been chosen to do it, and that's why my name's all over it. And you know, and people have said, I don't want people thinking it's ego, it's far from that. But by adding it, it clearly makes it, oh, well, I would say inarguable that this is just beyond coincidence. Right, okay. So if you go back and see the dart, there's a throwing dart, and that fits with Job. Oh, I don't know which passage it is, I could find it, but if you put in the word dart into a search, on a Bible search, KVJ Bible search, it says something about throwing darts won't bring him to, or Leviathan views darts as stubble. Well, bear in mind, Leviathan is the great big shark as well on the map that I didn't even know I was drawing when I was putting together all the lines in the map, making so many symbols is untrue. And he says, I show you signs and wonders. Well, where is he going to show you signs? Yes, you could say, well, sign. I think this is a pre-runner to things that are coming. I don't think this is it. I think this is like the get ready phase and preparing people, just, you know, getting the information out there and just trying to get you to see, I guess, that he's real and start turning to him, because things are going to change. Anyway, right, so ID run start. Right, the last part is phenomenal. Rerun, soul map, Acellus, Rus. Right, I'm just going to pause for a second. I'm going to scrub this because I just want to concentrate on this bit because it's quite in depth, but it absolutely mind-blowing and ties a lot of things up. Right, bear with me 2 seconds, guys and girls. Okay, folks, right, rerun, soul map, Acellus, Rus. Now, what does this mean? Right, firstly, you need to know what the soul map is. Now, the soul map, right, I'm going to try and slow this one down a little bit. I know we're rushing a little too much, but, right, what you've got, Masonic pillars. I'm pretty sure I know what the coding those are, but I don't want to jump to that at the moment. Right, okay, you've got 2 Masonic pillars on this. This is the symbology the Masons are using. This is actually ancient symbology. They must know, I'm pretty sure they know somewhat what it means, but well, I'll enlighten you anyway. So let's rerun soul map. It's called this, right, firstly, let's put what the original is, because this is what the original would have, and this is why the Masons have Cancer as their key stone. This is the symbol of Cancer. This is 6 and a 9. It relates to the tribes as well. Gad, Jihad, and 9 is Simeon. Me and Zion is a Siluri. Okay, now what you have on this side, you have a globe or a flat plane. I don't know what it is. No, let's not get into that. But on this side, you've got stars and the zodiac as well. Whatever, but it's obviously star related. Okay, now why is it? It's called the soul. He's calling this the soul map because the map of Solomon, or Solomon's. This is crazy, but it's Solomon's temple map. But it's also a Solomon's temple, but it creates a map from the code. And what you have, it's called the soul map because you've got the sun with a face because it's a person. Like I said, I've said before, they've got a waning moon, and I think this is why Yah says they change by new moons and seasons. Well, seasons you might be able to change, but new moons you can't really change when the new moon is. I'm pretty sure that this moon should be full. Okay, right, well, no, I'm not pretty sure, I know it is, because this is what this map is, or this is what this whole thing is about. It's a coded map. Right. The constellation of Cancer. Right, firstly you've got the sun of the, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stars. Well, this is simply the Pleiades. I forget how you spell it, but it's Please ID anyway. Whatever you take them, which is funny as well because the Pleiades codes gives you an identity as well. The sweet influences of the Pleiades. Right, well, I'm guessing this could possibly be one as well, another sweet influence, because it's Please ID, and it's the sun of the moon sign in Cancer. I'm born in Cancer, so I'm the sun of the moon sign in Cancer. That ID'd in the Pleiades when I released the bands of Orion and everything. Oh, well, just go back on the videos and it'll all make sense. But basically, I'm the son of the moon sign, born in Cancer, uses the atlas and the stars to create a safe zone. Because this is actually, Cancer is a constellation that goes as an overlay onto the map of Britain, basically, using the Canaan, Egypt, Judea being England, or parts of England, Canaan, Egypt, Cornwall, Judea being Wales. This is Holy Head. That's where the map pins on. This is Swindon, and this is Exeter. And what this does, obviously it's got your pyramid, the foot of your pyramid, right, if I draw in the full sort of picture, what it does is create a pyramid as well. Over top, it's a slightly Oslu one, but it's a pyramid either way, whichever way you look at it. Right, now this gives you a combined nations safe code. The combined nations are Canaan, Egypt, and Judea. It also gives you a K-E-Y, a H-E-S, a Y-E-S. So this is where you get the key, yes, seek, he's. The G in the pyramid, this is where the Giza pyramid comes in. The G is your map ID. Well, the Masons have a G, you'll see it in a pyramid. This is what the G is all about, because it's Gymri. And they've made some cotton ball. I bet it's going to be using a sentence or something, I don't know. But the land is called Gymri, it's Wales. And Gymri is also Mr. Guy. This is another reason you go through, this line goes through Swindon. In fact, the Ankh fits there. The key, oh, that's probably not there, is it? This would be the Ankh, which I used in the map. And then you've got the Eye of Horus goes up here, obviously making up a complete pyramid. But there's your Ankh as well, which obviously fits in with the other. You keep the Ankh, because the Ankh was the first thing I did that started creating the bow. This line shoots off actually to Lewisham. I am Welsh. With the stones from Mount Struy in Scotland, Struy being is true. So you've got, and that would be, sorry, Swindon is Wind's Nod. It's Wind in the land of Nod as well, because Canaan went out into the land of Nod. Again, I've explained all this before, but key, yes, he's Gymri or Mr. Guy, because one goes with the other, and this is why the pyramid ID for the Giza pyramid is a G is your map ID, because it's the G of Gymri is also the G of Jerusalem. Okay, right, okay, right, so what we've got is now the constellation of Cancer, which is your combined nations safe area code. Again, it's hard to fit all this in, but let's take the Ankh out a minute, but you can see where that fits into this. That makes the bow, the battle bow of Zachariah as well, incidentally. In fact, let's take it completely out for now. And just adjust this up, folks, so it doesn't confuse it. Okay, but you can see how clearly the anchor key opens up the pyramid message that gives you everything, which has led to this message now, rerun soul map. Okay, so importantly as well, the seek bit, Wind's Nod, I am Welsh is true, but the seek bit is also, this is phonetically Y and this is H. This is the holy head, or the tetragrammaton. What the Jews know as the tetragrammaton, which whatever I'm connecting to is the tetragrammaton. It's the divine plan to unravel all these codes, and this is how I do it. It's not my doing. Something I don't know how to explain it in real, you know, well, it's hard to explain, but I just get this information from the tetragrammaton, which I got a feeling like, well, I don't know whether it's symbolic, but this also led me to Arcturus, but I'll come to that. Right, but what you've got is you've got the Sol, this is the O, and this is Mon. Well, Sol, O, Mon, this is the code in Solomon, which gives you the combined 8 Solomons, or Sol Mon's combination safe code. And this is the safe area, the moon shining bright on the safe area, highlighting these 2 stars. Now this is where this beautiful pair come in, and the fact it says Rus. Because the first star in Cancer there would be, let me just shorten up my pillars a minute, because this is just so unbelievably accurate, it's untrue, would be Acellus Borealis. The second star there, which would be on Landmelin, so it's also the lock and the key, is Acellus Australis, which would be Rus, or G Rus. So the Rus part is in there just to show you, make no mistake, that that star is meant to be on Rus, and this is the rerun the Sol map. So this is the Sol map because and it shows you the solar moon kingdom, son of the moon sign in Cancer. I was born in Cancer. That's a key in itself. But he uses the map or the ALAS message, the stars, to create the message and to recreate the safe zone for the end times, basically, when all this falls apart, when this entire thing falls apart and everything falls into place. This is where you need to get to, people. And if this doesn't prove that this is correct, nothing will. And by the oh yeah, and just so you know that Acellus Borealis is, so Acellus is Bo is real, because obviously it's created as well by using, because these 3 stars plus this one up here is what creates the bow to Mablethorpe. Actually, that's insane, I just realised, because if I was to draw the 3rd one in and draw the bow, that's pretty much the position on the map of UK where this would end up, over in that corner. That's where Mablethorpe would be. Wow, there we go. So that just added more credence to it. So basically that's the, you know, this is the rerun of it, how it released the Ankh. It's the same. You get the tetragrammaton, it says YH as well. YH, because of the holy head that receives the information from the tetragrammaton, which is the divine plan, which is which I think is something that's led me to Arcturus, whether that be symbolic or not. Oh yeah, and the other Australis is this is a Sayu star. And I've realised that the Sayu star is the star in Orion, and I've already done it. It's the only one missing a H. Why it's me and how, well, like I say, this is a journey of discovery for me as well. And I'm more shocked than anyone. But how, you know, how do I know this? I'm a security guard, and I'm I'm streetwise and bright. You know, I'm average intelligence. But there's no way anyone on earth could uncode all this, and in 2 years, and I do it week to week to week to week, and it just keeps coming. But to be able to tie all this to 3-star constellations, you just could not make it up. And you can see exactly, it tells you there's a pick and a coffin, even confirms the Marco Manai, that's why it hit you in the coffin. The coffin sits on the square and compass being the place. Oh yeah, and let's not forget, the coffin, in the Mason symbology, actually that's not a very good drawing of it, but their coffin is more of a coffin, obviously mine is a symbolic one. But at the bottom of the Freemasons thing, you got the coffin. And that is the coffin of the tribe of Joseph, who were the Marco Manai, exiled, like I say, to Germany, and I think they've ended up on the board, on the sort of on the France-Rhine border, in a place called Gottenheim, and even that says he got, he got 10, I think it is. Well, I'm he who got 10, and that links as well back to the pyramids in, it hits the pyramid in Giza and connects it with Worcester, the Rogue Secret, which connects the clambered discoid in a picture of a pyramid as well, a smaller pyramid within this pyramid. You just couldn't make it up, people. This is impossible to be coincidence. Bow is real, a silent star. The star is the Bethlehem, is the real star of Bethlehem, is the star B the Mel H. The Star of Mel, and the only star I can see, written in Chapel Plaister, which says, there's a line from Winchester, which is Wind Secret H, goes straight through a place called, little tiny place called Chapel, well, it goes through Melcham and Melts H, which is Melchizedek's H, goes through Chapel Plaister, which says, I help place star. Then that hits Clanfair Disc, or Clanfair Iscoid in Welsh, which connects to Worcester, which put it together says Clanfair's secret is code. And the Clanfair's secret is written in Orion, and that's why you've got the Orion, the Pleiades, the message. And just to repeat the messages, Pleiades, please ID, okay? Plei I1, all CE1 on Atlas. Gymri list of guy, because this is the area of Gymri as well. AI am arc elect. I can even decode all that, the elect part, well, unbelievable how it all fits. He set me a rope, get rope at. Well, the rope is over here in Mablethorpe on the map. And Mablethorpe says be the Mel, rope B, was it Mel H or something, or whatever it is. What does it say? It says, I never can find anything when you need it. It says, oh, I've got so many things on the go here with code, guys and girls, you wouldn't believe it. It says Ropey at Mel H, I think it is, but it's Mablethorpe anyway. You can watch the videos and go back. And that literally, well, this is where the Mel H code is where the bow fire, exactly where the bow fires from, through the star called Bow is Real. The Sellers Bow is Real. And there we go, rerun Sol map, Sellers to Sellers Roots. There's your Sol map, Sol Old Moon. There's your combined nation safe code. The light shining on it. If you put the flail over it, the sickle type thing, as well as decoded in it, that gives you the shadow, the Y Valley. Because you ask, that's why you ask, why is it the Valley of Death? I fear no evil. Well, the answer's in the question. It's the Y Valley. The Y Valley runs with this moon sign. It's in Mon. The Y Valley Monmouthshire. It's on the border basically, and the only valley really in that map. And that's why the shadow of death is over it. The moon is shining on it. The shadow of death is on the valley, but I live here and I feel no evil because I'm not worried what happens. I know where I'm in the safe zone already. And as you can see why I know I'm in the safe zone. Not through any, any fantasy. It's on logic because it's all written clearly, and I must be the only person in the world that can actually miraculously, not through my own doing, but back up exactly what I'm saying, every bit of it, and find the most, well, I'm just giving miracle after miracle to show you. I show you signs and wonders. Well, the only way you're going to show signs and wonders is, well, the wonders part. How are you going to see a wonder? Well, the wonders are like the 7 wonders of the world. They're pyramids. But there's numerous pyramids. I've got more than one on the map. There's at least 3, and I think I might have even found another one, but that's a bent one, which is ironic because there's a code in Sneferu as well. But I'll come to that another day. But as you can clearly see, Arcturus reveals so much, and it absolutely confirms beyond doubt that this is all meant to be, and this is all playing out. And there's only one person that could have put it there, and he is the one I answer to. Simple as. Been put here to obviously reveal these messages. Plei I1, all CU1 on Atlas. I am arc elect. He set me a rope, get rope be at Mel H. Orion's riddle. I take angel, all's in a belt. I take Jerusalem, scrabble that as Jerusalem, just with a G. I be all tricks in a map, Messiah. Arcturus, boots, the boots constellation. So to be the herdsman. Atlas Silu must Arcturus. Rerun Keep Giza Ankh, that's the 3 pyramids. There's Keep Ankh, you Keep Ankh, I think, or you Keep Ankh, is it? Or no, you Free H, whatever it says, but it clearly, whatever it says, I can't remember. Map Pick, that's the pick in the map. Even puts that there, R.I.P. Hit you. It's the Marco Manoi tribe at the bottom of the Masons' Temple of Solomon. They buried the history of the entire tribe. Now they're making it look like it's out in the Middle East. Absolute no way. And I can disprove even geographically that Moses could not have gone into Egypt and come up to Mount Sinai by going via Canaan. But I'll get to that again because I'm going to run out of time otherwise. Okay, so RIP at you. ID Rum's Dart. Rum's Dart is the dart that comes down this way. Is it down or this way, I suspect. The chambers of the south that are here, all coming off on the map there. Chambers of the south of the, obviously of the south of the Arcturus and the bow of Orion. So you've got the chambers of the south. These are the mines with all the codes in. The bottom of the mine being Shaftesbury, safety being Roos. You've also got a mine head as well. I could keep going. And then you've got the rerun, a Sol map. Rerun Sol map. Sol map. This is the map, Solomon's map basically. The Solar Moon map. Acellus Roos. So rerun it. Acellus Australis, Acellus Borealis, a Silu star, and a bow is real. That makes a bow, gives you the Pleiades ID. People, there's no way you can make this up. And those 3 from stars. If anybody thinks that, you know, well, let's not forget as well, you've got the Ark of the Covenant in the middle because it was here and it was moved to here because this is where the Ark of the Covenant is. It's underneath Lambelin Hill Fort, and that's why the key is on it. That key unlocks, well, the matrix, and this is how you work it all out. But I think you'll agree that this is just absolutely mind-blowing. And just to recap as well, rather than write them up, I'll just read them. The 10 tribes, when I take all the names of the decoded, well, I do them in batches of 2 really, but you take the names of the decoded tribe and the tribe of Israel that I already decoded, and then it creates this message. I, Marco, in Roos in Mon, and then he's in a Map H video. As I've stated before, I think this is, well, I don't know whether I must have been there when this was all set up and agreed to do it. That's the only thing I could do, because it does go back and forth like 2 people talking. Then it says CG Roos, seen Buller's H. Well, the Buller's H is the tribe of Joseph is the bull, being the Marco Manoi H. Because there's also Marco, well, I'm the H man and I'm Marco. So that all, again, this all locks in. Cain Cass, that's where I was born. H is I, or I is H, whichever. Ties adds Gear. Gear is a hill fort in Newport. The Cassie of the tribe of Newport, Cass Neweth. There's more to that as well. I've got one to show you that's absolutely mind-blowing, actually, I realised. Right, then the last one, and again, this ties with the I and the he's bit, saying that I think I must have been there when this plan was put together and agreed to do it. I, Atlas Angel, and I keep and get all these codes with L in it as well, which is and telling me that I forgot all the H. Pin H ran codec video. Well, I did run an Atlas Angel because I run the codec videos, not only from the Pin H, which is Caution, Marco's H, I Atlas Angel from the place called Yes Atlas. So I'm the angel in Eastleigh's Yes Atlas, who pins the H on Marco's H, Caution, ran codec video from, which is exactly what I'm doing now from where I am at work. Then the last one is C-Beam Roos. Well, I've seen it being Roos, but it's now Kiowen. A Siluri tribe at Mon, and Siluri being the 9th tribe of Simeon, me and Sion. It's where I live. Okay, the next phenomenal one, just to help show a code that's never been broken in history, and nobody knows what it means. It's simply an English anagram. But again, you have to have the tent map. And I've worked out the tent, there's a tent map that I've got which gives you all the 10 tribes pinned out on them. Meeny Tekel Up Farsin. Daniel, the hand comes out the wall and it writes on the wall and basically telling it. Well, what it basically amounts to is that Babylon, is the writing on the wall for Babylon, and Daniel, who happens to be and-il as well, is telling Babylon that it's about to fall, and it does fall. But what it actually says is unmap 10, seek Melin here. Well, Melin is this for, it's land Melin, which again I got another code for, which I still can't get my head around it, but it came today. Right, Melchizedek, which once you get that code, meeny tekel up farsin, map 10 seek Melin here. When you go to Melin, then you get the it's the Melchizedek code, and that says see Mel seek HID. You draw a line, and then this one doubles over onto the canst thou draw out Leviathan with a hook, because this also with the Eye of Horus in it, and the ankh and the ankh and the Eye of Horus in it creates, as I've shown in videos, this creates Leviathan, the whale shark, the shark over Wales, basically, which is Catholic, the Catholic Church, and that's what it is. The Vatican, it represents the Vatican and religion, and all the religion. It's got a fishtail, a normal fishtail, which represents a Christian fishtail. It's an angel fish encoded this way. The angel fish is representing me telling the tail to stop following the head, because Christianity is the curse, I'm afraid, and this all a lie. Jesus, all of it, it's a lie. The whole deception, Satan deceives the whole world, is because he convinces the world that God is the creator. Well, God is not the creator. Yahweh is the creator, and that's why he took his name out 6,800 times and replaced it with the word God and Lord, all in capital letters, because it's a straw man identity. It's a fake identity. That's what it is. I can't think what they call it, but there's a name for it, and they do it. And when we're born, we get one as well. And you have to look into that, but that's what it does. Right, I'm going to leave it there because I think I've babbled on enough, people, and I don't. Oh no, I'm just going to show you this last one, because you know when something is so obvious that you couldn't see it. And again, I've already decoded this. And this is why I think I've been sent, and I was born into the family that I was born into. Right. Right. So I'm Melin, the key. Okay. Right. The first David. I think I did it. It's basically you switch those two, then you've got the V is the vine, and then you ID. Okay, you ID the vine. The vine is the Silu. Well, it's the Israelites basically, but it's well, I'm coding in reverse here, but it's not Israelites. It's Israels. They're Israels, and this all it is code. And what you do is you take, actually I didn't make this too clear in my first video, but let's just do it right now. He says to take the lies out of the sanctuary. Right, let's take the lies out. Well, the first lies is Ra. Okay, Ra and Horus. This is the God. The God, what we call God, I don't call Yah God, never, because he's not God. That's what man created. This is why all gods are false. He put the God in there. Right, Ra. Then you take out those who well, it's one of the same. I hate to tell you this, but the cross. It says rat as well, funny enough. And that the cross. Okay. And then what you have left, so if we take out, the Ra, we take out those that perpetrate the T, which is the cross, and then we take out the lies. And this is what he means by take the lies out of the sanctuary. So what we're left with is. And those that followed, well, when they were in there, they live in the land of his rule. And that's why it's not Israel, it's his rule, the land of his rule. It's code. And it's his rule, and this is the Siluri. So the Siluri, and me bringing his rule back makes me Siluri H, which is why I'm the H man, because I follow his rule. my at-roost day, anagrammed Saturday, where I mustn't journey out, and basically I gotta stay, you know, I stay home and rest. And that's what I do, and that's been the biggest test that I've been through, is to make sure that I can fulfil that, which gives me the, goes in, does the tetragrammaton recode and everything. So right, so getting back to that, so who was David? The original David is just an anagram. He was a divine, because all you do is now is you switch this back once you find divine, and you just change it to Davai, same as divine. And this ties with this as well, because you just switch those and it tells you to ID divine, and that's when you put it into there, and then you add divine, and you get the Sayuris, the his rules, and you follow all the code, and this is what you do, and you get the follow the Sayuris and follow this rule, who were at Jerusalem, and so the divine identification, and I know it uses this word, and there's a reason for it, because early on I didn't obviously when I got the initial decode, which has led me here, I would not have understood what any of this code was if he hadn't written it this way. But the divine identification for David, or King David, is an ark of God. Connect to God. That's what that means as well. Connect to God. Well, the God is Yahweh, but his God was Yahweh, or what we call God. Again, he's only using that just to identify it so that I would understand it at this point. Obviously now I see the deception, and Satan deceives the whole world. What better way? Have everybody worshipping Amen Ra? And well, Jesus is Horus, I'm afraid. He was born on Horus was born on the 25th of December to a virgin mother. Well, I don't know, you need to look into it, but he walked on water, he turned water into wine, and he died and he was crucified. And this story came out way and this is from Cornwall, I can tell you that, the original Egypt. And this is the god that they were worshipping was Horus. And all they've done is rebranded it, redressed it, even had the audacity to change take the creator's name out and claim the works themselves. So that when everybody's going to church and worshipping God and Jesus, they're effectively worshipping, without knowing it, you're worshipping Egyptian God, Amen Ra. Right. So obviously I have to sidetrack to get to this, but here's the I did not see this, but wow. Right. This is where the secret lies. If you remember, not long ago, I said this is a sorry, this is double L. I said this is a question. What clan is Mel in? Well, Mel would be, right, firstly, in my traditional Welsh name would be Marco ap Melvin. So, because my father's name was Melvin and my grandfather's name was Melvin. So my father, I don't know what my grandfather's second Welsh name would be, but my father's name would be Melvin ap Melvin, and my name would be Marco ap Melvin. Right, what's amazing, the tribe of Issachar, right, oh man, this is where it gets crazy. So what you need to do is work out the clan Mel in. This is a question. So what clan was Mel in? Right, well he's in this clan, and this is the fifth tribe. Okay, the fifth tribe. Now the first thing is you've got R-I-S-C-A, Risca. Okay, that's a place just outside of Newport. Then you've got what is no, well they say it's the Roman, it's not Roman at all, it's code, but you've got Isca. Okay, now this is the area of Killeen. Killeen just sort of on the outskirts of Newport. Then you've got the tribe of Cass, or is Cass, but we'll just say Cass. Right, incredibly, Mel number 1 was born in Risca. Mel number 2 was born in Clanfretford, which is basically a stone's throw from Killeen on the way to Cumbran, a place called Cumbran, if you check the map. He was born in Llanfretford Grange, which was Isca. And then the last one is Cass, or Cass, whichever way you want to do it. He's got the Cass. The Cass was me, born in, well, Cass Newith, which is Newport. Okay, so all three are coded, all these three places, and the only letter missing is the H, because I'm the Cass H, basically, or the one born in Cass. The Cassi were a sub-tribe of the Siluri. So this is how you get them, and they're the fifth tribe of Issachar. The fifth, right. What you have to do, you have to go, there's this place called Coed Morgan. I think there's a few of them actually, Wales, but all this is saying is G Roman code. It's talking to me on the G is your map ID. Sorry, not code. It would be code. So all that is an anagram of that, G Roman code. So so the fifth is V. So all I do, so which tribe clan Mel in? Well, all these Mels, that's Mel, that's Melvin at Melvin, that's Marco at Melvin. So the clan of all five are in the Roman, using the G Roman code of V, and it's the clan Melvin. Right, what's this got to do with David? This is why I'm 100% that says cash as well. That's crazy. I know. I wish I had some. Right, the clan Melvin. Right, David. Sorry. And boy, I couldn't see this. I hadn't seen this for looking, but I guess this is why it comes in now. It's add V I D. Let's just do it again. So clan Melin, this is the key to everything, and this is the line of David, and this is also the tree. Is a Mel tree. Mel is elm tree. This is the tree that was cut off the branches, I think, because you've got codes for Mel in coming down through ancestors. Oh, well, I've got to get to this, but even the places like people like Methuselah is U them Seal H. Lamech is C-M-L-H. Noah is on a H. So this would be a Mel tree, or a Mel tree, which is an elm tree. He says he cuts the one, or he cuts off the one tree, which is obviously when Solomon, which is obviously one of the original elm tree or Mel trees, and he's obviously messed up. They've been cut off. Yah's walked away and divorced the tribe Siluris, and he's and this is what I think it means, and he's replanted the Mel tree, or replanted the elm tree, the branch of David, and it will be an anagram of C. Bran H. Well, Bran H, Bran the Blessed, was Karadic's father, who ruled from the key fort Melin. You tell me how this is all possible. Add V I D. So that is for, and I think this is how you work out from the line of the one that comes from the line of David. And I'm pretty sure, because my family tried to trace their history back, and you can't, because they got them clearly, I don't know how they seem to come from, Norway on one side, I think Ireland on the other, I think is German. I see it says French is German, there's a right mixture, and obviously Italian as well. So, which obviously is why you've got the eagle as one of the identities of the four-faced angel. But either way, folks, believe me or not, I don't see how I even know able to work any of this out in no time at all. But like I say, I can't force anyone to take some water. You can't make him drink it. But there we go. I hope this has been educational, and I just hope you get your palms up, stand in a letter Y, palms up, just confess your sins, because you ain't getting away with anything. I've been through it already, and let me tell you, I've seen the Matrix. There wasn't a good Matrix, because when this first started, and I went through I went through a cleansing process. There's no doubt. He said, tried like gold in a fire, and I was tried, because everything I looked at, like what I see now in words and these things highlighting to me, these are not the thing. Every sin or major sin that I committed, and just to clarify something as well, we've got somebody that subscribed to this channel that in the comments wants to point something out, and he's going to allegedly, I don't know whether he's intending to produce a video, he's going to try to expose me, and he's pointing something useful out actually, and let's get this out of the way. Okay, he says he's going to expose me because this says, and it indeed does, Marco in sin. Well, it doesn't actually expose me because this is actually a statement of fact. Marco did live in sin. Well, not in a bad, I sinned like everyone else. Because for 50 years of my life, I had no comprehension or no clue as to any of this and was living just like everyone else. I was running a business, telling lies sometimes to customers. If we were late, we had a break, or people were late or something, you might say you had a breakdown. And so yeah, Marco in sin, and I've never made any, I've nothing to hide. So, for the person who said this, really, it's unnecessary. You don't need to be, well, you might have your own views on things, but I did point this out. I can only code what is there. And you say, I found, the only thing I found is myself. Well, yes, but understand that this code would be very incomplete and probably, well, would it work if my name wasn't in it? You've just seen how it decodes. Well, what better way? And if you were the creator, and would you not put the person that's decoding it in the future, because that's and with his name written in the past? This is exactly how you prove. Well, it allows me to prove his existence, and I'm not even saying anything. I've not made any claim. I don't. Well, this is making a claim for me, and all I can do is put this out there. And I'm sorry. You get all upset about it, but there's just, there's no point. I set this channel up not to mislead anybody or do anybody any harm. In fact, quite the reverse. I started finding code. I didn't really know where this was all going. I made a huge leap of faith as such. Well, there was trust and faith because I'd seen things, and obviously there was a pattern, and I had the conversation, and I made the leap, and I gave up my business, and I gave up everything for the sake of my children and their future. But in the meantime, and obviously I'm plodding on, and I'm thinking, obviously starting to find these things and expose, and with my only intent to be to expose the bad guys. Little did I know that it would lead me to a path. Well, watch my early videos, and I don't even, it's not mentioning, literally, as far as I remember. I don't even think I found many codes, maybe one or two little things, but I certainly did not expect it to come out and start to turn into what it has, and that's for sure. And it's not an ego, it's there, so I can only decode what is there. But I'm certainly not going to stop doing it, because you can see that there is a safe zone, and I'm not wrong, but on the million to billion to one chance that I might be wrong, and this was all the biggest, most amazing coincidence that ever was, then all I'm trying to do is get people ready, so when even if you want to say if it happens, then you know where to go and where to be safe. And what sort of person would it make me if I didn't pass that on? And even, and what's the worst that can happen? Even if I'm wrong, which I'm not, but if I was, it's done no harm to anyone. I'm not telling anyone to up sticks now and move, that's for sure. I've already said the timing is in when Russia hits Finland starts going across Sweden into Norway and into Britain. And that's when you need to start thinking about it. But I know the signs will be there and people will know when to move. The thing is, don't run away from it. Get to that Solomon safe code, and this is why he wants me to run that as because the safe zone is a place called Kaya Wen, where I live. That's what it is in these terms, which is the Jerusalem. So it'll be marked up as a Roman fort, clearly not Roman, but there we go. That's the place to head to anyway, and just please, just keep it in your head, in your wallet. This name is going to be, I know it's going to be important in the future, and if it's not, you've lost nothing. But I assure you, the Creator is very real, and I hope you turn to Him, stand a letter wide, put your sins, confess everything, and just ask for guidance and ask for forgiveness, because He knows you've done it, and there's no getting away for it. And we're in that time where it's time to get right voluntarily. And I hate to say it, but there's going to be an easy way or hard way. But He does say they will call and this is why what's going to happen is going to happen, because you need people won't crick their necks. They will crick though, and that's why there's a fork called will crick, because they will crick their necks when they see what's coming. And that's when they're going to start to look for him, and he might not be there to listen to you. Like I say, folks, just to, you know, if you think I'm crazy, then so be it. Maybe this isn't for you. But if you really, really look back into these videos and see how this all, and you know, and don't take any one of those videos. Just, you need to watch them in turn, in order, and just watch this build up and build up and build up. And that last code, I think, is just a mind blower. And Yahweh is very real. Anyway, until next time, Yah's blessings.